Welcome to Protea Live. My name is Zane Stevens, and I'm the founder of Protea Financial. Unified 2024, we're here, we're having fun. It's been a long day. Left the house at 9 a.m. this morning, drove through to Sacramento, and spent the day at Unified. Let's have a quick look here. Let's see how we've done. About 10,000 steps, nothing crazy, but a lot of standing and talking to people, a lot of good conversations. So I really can't complain about that. But just an interesting day. The big event is tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the state of the industry, and I'm really interested to sort of hear what's going on there. Um, but today was a good day. Got in there, walked into the registration hall. It was very, very cool. Um, Protea financial emblem up on the banner saying, "Hey, proud sponsors," which is great. I put a picture of that on my Instagram. Really, really fun to see. They met up with some bankers from Silicon Valley Bank, um, Marshall Graves and Molly. I can't think of Molly's last name right now. Had some good conversation with them. Bumped into a couple of CPA people. Michelle Osborne of BPM, as well as Mike Riccioli of Moss Adams. Really good quality conversations. Headed off to the keynote luncheon. I must say the luncheon was a little disappointing. I've really enjoyed the luncheon in previous years. Generally, the highlight of my trip, um, but it was just a little weirdly put together. Seemed a little unorganized. Food was overcooked, which is never great. And then the keynote, Karen Ross is interesting. She said a lot of good data, and I've got some notes. I mean, I took notes on ChatGPT. Um, it was fine. We spent a lot of time just sort of talking about who she is, where she comes from, and that's good. Like it's important information, but she comes from the world of politics, and it felt like a bit of a political conversation, right? Just a lot of this is what we've done rather than what we're gonna do, which was a bit tough to hear. So it was it was fine. Had a lot of good conversations. A couple of people from Sonoma State and their wine business program, which is great. I got to speak to people from SVB. Got to meet a couple of winemakers, which is nice as well. From there, I headed off and caught up emails, jumped on a call with some people. That was interesting and good. And then I went off to another session. I was planning to go to the business track, but there was a session on AI. And if you've watched Protea Collab, we've been talking about AI a little bit, and it was really interesting. It was sort of showing people how productive and efficient AI can be if you use it in your business. And part of it was just showing them, like, look how quickly we can create a winery brand, a marketing strategy, and a story to go with this wine, this beautiful wine we're going to make. And it was giving people good ideas on how to implement AI in their day-to-day business. I mean, I just said I made notes. So I've got this pretty nice notes, and I'll probably share it on social media. My summary. I got a Dolly to make an image at the same time, which I got to play around a little bit. I have a summarized version for Twitter. These things can happen really quickly and all touch of a button, and all it's doing is summarizing my thoughts. So as they were talking, I was just jotting notes down like crazy, crazy, crazy. And then I said, "Hey, ChatGPT, please summarize for me." And the big thing my big takeaway from it is that AI is here, and you need to grab the wave to sort of see how it can be productive in your life because you don't want to get left behind. So one of the big recommendations, they're like, hey, download the free version of ChatGPT and just make notes on a daily basis. Learn how to use it, learn some hacks, have a conversation with it. Very, very intriguing session about AI and the way it can make business more simple. But the message with this presentation, which I've heard on most AI presentations, is that the tool is an efficiency and productivity tool, but it has to be used in conjunction with people. So if you're getting ideas from it or asking it to write a blog for your website, make sure to fact check. Make sure that it's making sense. You know, anything I write, I throw into Grammarly these days. Make sure that it's proper English. There's no spelling errors, all that type of stuff. It is very important. And if you're gonna use these tools, You have to be very specific and understand what you're getting out of it is never the end product. At least for now, it's not the end product. You should be figuring out a way to improve the way you take that information, digest it into something in your own voice, and use it going forward. So, very, very good session on just the use of AI and how easy it is to use in business, how more efficient it can make your business, especially if you're using it to get rid of that blank paper syndrome or as your sketchboard in the creative side. After that, met up with a few people. I went to a couple of events. First one was just the welcome event right at the Sheraton at the event. Very nice. Got to speak to people from some banks from Flagstar. Spoke to Chet Laws from Risk Insurance Company. Always good conversation. Met up with the guys from American Ag Credit for a short amount of time as well. All very, very good situations. I then headed off to the Wine Business Monthly's Bottle Bash. It was always a highlight event. Been away for a while through COVID and just difficulty finding venues. But went in there, grabbed a little bit of food, spoke to a few people, spoke to some more bankers. Get the trend. I've spoken to a lot of bankers today. It was nice to catch up with them. Got a little bit of industry gossip. Found out about some of the banks that struggled last year and how they're treating their clients now going forward as they sort of exit the wine space, well, specifically the wine space that I serve, the smaller wineries, the family-owned wineries. So just caught up on that type of news. A lot of good information, feedback to my team when I have a meeting with them. My US team next week, and then a couple of weeks time with the South African team. So just very good connections. I did then go over to Rack and Riddle and their Bubble Bash, which I struggle with that event. Maybe I'm just showing my age a little bit, but it's really loud in a nightclub. Always got great food, which is wonderful. I was able to snack my way through life today, rather than have a proper dinner, which was great. Bumped into my friend Tim Allen. Tim Allen provides really good outsourced accounting services as well. We refer clients between each other. It's always been an interesting relationship him and I have, but it was nice to just bump into him, hear what he's doing. Just a quick catch up, 5 minutes, maybe 6. Just very, very, very good interaction. And then I headed back into the hotel, and I'm going to decide what I'm going to do for the rest of the night. I'm not sure if I'm just going to catch up on some work. It's only 8:12 p.m., so the night is still young. We'll see if any other, I know there's a couple other events I could go to. We'll see. It's been a long day. It's been a productive day, and tomorrow's another big day. I've got one lunch, one mixer lined up at the moment, and then probably some educational sessions. I definitely want to walk the conference floor, and the wine, state of the industry. Very, very big event. Normally a lot of great information. It is a long one. I think it's like 2.5 hours. So it's really going to test my concentration span. But wonderful information normally comes from that. So I look forward to sharing all that information with all of you guys. That was my day one of Unified Wine and Grape Symposium. Again, such proud sponsors, really good event, been around for a long time. Lot to learn, lot to share with you all, and appreciate your time tonight. Until tomorrow morning, be kind. Goodbye.